Hey, Mr. Mark. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I caught your live today. I don't know if you did more than today. I only caught the one, and it was freaking phenomenal. And I wished that was in the chat live because I wanted to ask you about your trouble with playing a video because I know you have StreamYard and that you're very adept with doing that. And I was thinking that maybe you were being hamburglarized. What do you think? Am I jumping to conclusions? Was it just a glitch in the system? Let's go over the disclaimer because I did a short live today. I totally forgot my disclaimer. Yes, I never have issues. So, you were hitting it hard, dude. That was a really good live. And I thought, yeah, they're watching you. They're trying to shut you down. Seriously. I mean, I think there's been a lot of trolling lately. And you were bringing up some phenomenal points. Did you see Shan's short from a couple of weeks ago? I was actually going to play it for you guys on my cell phone. I called them all. Good. So, let's see. Let me do my little disclaimer real quick. Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation and open up a discussion and learn something and be educational and find some freaking justice for Kiely. Please. All my videos to date have been made for YouTube, and it's an entertainment platform. You are so good about making those calls, Mr. Mark. That is amazing. Thank you for doing that. Please hit your like button and make sure you're still subscribed. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like my channel, my goofy channel, and turn on your notification bell to ring. And if I try to get the squirrel out of the way for some of the letters, I might just knock everything down. I think I'll just call it well enough alone. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get this. I wanted to print out the transcript for Shan's live, but I'm just going to go ahead and play it. Let's see how this works. And squirrels on fire, totally on fire. So did you guys check this one? This is the one that I'm talking about, if you can see that. It's got a picture of David Robertson, I think is his name, Kiely's grandfather. It's his fiance.
How frustrating is it for you and your family, the fact that there were so many people, the fact that someone must know something and law enforcement keeps, running into dead ends of solid leads of, where Kiely is?
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. As the time ticks by, we get more and more worried, as you can imagine. And so we're just hoping someone will step forward. And it's very easy to call in and remain anonymous. Your name does not have to be given. Just be the brave person. Be the brave person and let us know where Kiely is. If you're a young
let me pause
person
it right
and
there real quick.
Something about drugs.
What the
F
there? Hey, Bex, nice to see you. So yeah, just turn in the car that tells and the cars that don't tell, because it's anonymous. No one will know it was you. Wink, wink. Right? I mean, come on. No, everybody's scared to death. People. I think that Cece said, she lives in the truckie community. She said that she talked to somebody, or maybe it was you, Mr. Mark, that if anyone were to talk, it would affect them for decades, and it would affect their kids and grandkids.
Like that, we're not interested in that. We want to find Kiely. Nobody's going to be going after you personally. As a matter of fact, you'll probably be the hero.
How frustrating is it for you and your family, the fact that there were so many people, the fact that someone must know something and law enforcement keeps, running into dead ends of solid leads of, where Kiely is?
Oh, it's extremely frustrating. As the time ticks by, we get more and more worried, as you can imagine. And so we're just hoping someone will step forward. And it's very easy to call in and remain anonymous. Your name does not have to be given. Just be the brave person. Be the brave person and let us know where Kiely is. If you're a young person and you know something about drugs or something like that, we're not interested in that. We want to find Kiely. Nobody's going to be going after you personally. As a matter of fact, you'll probably be the hero.
Probably.
How frustrating is it for you and your
Probably.
family?
So weird, huh? Yeah, it's a huge flag. But was that the one with Grandpa? Let me check this out. Let's see if because there was one with Grandpa, Mark. Did you show that? Or
what is going through your mind
yeah,
right
here we
now?
go.
It's surreal. It's horrific. You'd never think that anything like this would happen to you. This only happens on TV.
We have all the concerns that anybody could imagine we'd have. I don't even want to detail all of them, but if you think about the worst case scenario, that's what we're imagining. I know this isn't a runaway thing. I've known Kiely for many years, but maybe somebody has taken her and feels like they're in over their head. And
you think
maybe they will just let her go. Take her someplace and just let her go. You hear about these things and you read about them and you know that the family's in agony, but when you see it, it's just unbelievable. It's probably the most horrendous thing that could ever happen to a human being.
What is going through your mind right now?
It's surreal. It's horrific. You'd never think that anything like this would.
Okay, so I'm not going to keep playing it, even though I did watch it a bunch of times. So this one was how long ago? A couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I think I saw it back then, but maybe I didn't. Because I watched it last night and it just stunned me. And I have to admit, I do skip a lot of shorts because they just annoy me the way they go in loops. But man, is that a good one, especially the one with David Robertson, the granddad, and just what he says right here. I will play it one last time.
Happen to you. This only happens on TV.
We have all the concerns that anybody could imagine.
What is going through your mind right now?
It's surreal. It's horrific. You'd never think that anything like this would happen to you. This only happens on TV.
We have all the concerns that
What, you mean car accidents only happen to people on TV? Huh. So, thanks so much for being here, Bex and Mr. Mark. It's just the three of us. Get your water, get your tea, get your Dr. Pepper. You guys probably heard the news today about Matthew Perry and arrests happening in his case. So, I know you drink Dr. Pepper, Mark, but I didn't know that that was code for ketamine. So, that's one of the many names that they call it. Like, I think they call it a box of cola also. But anyway, Dr. Pepper is code for ketamine. So they finally made some arrests for the people that supplied Matthew Perry with the ketamine. And it was at least one doctor, if not two doctors. But I remember, and I think this is real relevant, I remember Governor Newsom making a presser about right around the time Kiely went missing, about how they weren't going to prosecute dealers because they weren't attempting to hurt anybody. So, like in situations like Nate Kabakunga's, when he supplied the 15-year-old Marie, I always forget her name, the 15-year-old girl from Roseville that passed away a month or 2 or 3 before Kiely. And then Nate Cabacunia was allegedly at the party, if there really was one. But then he was arrested, and he has since been prosecuted for supplying the 15-year-old, who I think he rugged and SA'd. So then you also have statutory on top of that. But anyway, it was Governor Newsom who spoke and said that when people overdose, there's no reason to go after the dealers because they weren't trying to red rum people. They were just trying to make money and didn't care if they red rummed people, right? I mean, come on. So what a complete 180 now that it's an A-lister from Friends, right? I mean, how sad is that? It's sad that that happened to Matthew Perry. It's great that they're busting people, but we all know how that goes too. It's taking out the middle management. It's not going to the source. I mean, if they went to the source, then it would be like a Scarface movie, right? I mean, right there in Truckee. And yeah, I'm having an image of a meme or a thumbnail that Shanda did with somebody with the scar face, with like their mouth cut and healed over, and I think it was titled something like "Snitches Get Stitches" or something like that, right? So let me catch up with you guys. I'm skipping a bunch of really great comments. So where is Kiely's ashes in her real accident spot? It's not Prosser. Yeah, I don't think there was an accident. I think that that video, and you guys, I recently reposted the video of the girl being hogtied with zip ties and put in the trunk of the SUV. So I think it's about a half a dozen posts back on my community feed. If you haven't seen that video or you haven't seen it in a while, that video was posted by people affiliated with Kiely. So it looks like her. It's not her, I don't think, at all. It's somebody who resembles her, and the car resembles her car. And she was found very much in the same scenario of what they were doing in this play or what have you. Weird. And where she is, because she can't get home on their own, they effing know. Find her, not release her, help her. I know, it's insane. And then I said it earlier today on my silly little 10 or 15-minute live about Scammy laughing her arse off at the Country for Kiely when she's holding all of her girlfriends' hands. And thank you so much for your video today, Mark. It really got my brain going. The thing about that they're all dressed in white in solidarity at the Country for Kiely. Seriously, like gangsters wear white when they've achieved an assassination, you guys. It's like a celebration thing. They all bust out their white from head to toe. Not kidding. So they're all wearing white in solidarity, and they're stopping the fake search to have a concert just for fun, because like, what solidarity? Like the solidarity of keeping their secret, right? Okay, a red effing flag, not just one. Kiely can't get home on her own. We have to know where she is. What the hell? I know. And, she's probably passed away now, but not necessarily. I mean, these things happen. Ugh. What a nightmare. Either way, what a nightmare. I have long ago, because sounds like they maybe might know something. They totally know something, right? And then remember the whole thing with David Grandpa saying that Kiely was an embarrassment to the family? Like, what was he referring to? And did he say that after she went missing? I thought it was after she went missing, if anybody knows. I'm going to power through and get caught up. Horrific, so no hope, because they know, yes, real Dr. Pepper here. Oh, I know, Mark. I know you're not talking code. 2, and the assistant pleads guilty. Okay, gotcha. 2 arrests for the Matthew Perry, and the one medical assistant pled guilty. What? New scum is more like it. Bex, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, that was so bizarre. But I don't think it was a coincidence that he came forward and said that at the same time that Kiely went missing, because she very well could have been rugged, trafficked, and I don't want to say overdose, because I think it was much more sinister than that. But who knows? I mean, it could have been that. I mean, the fight, the freaking friendly fight, friendly, not friendly. Give me a break. And I said this in my video earlier today. I was a little discombobulated. I was in my car and there were people around. It was bothering me. Was the last boyfriend that Kiely was with, was that Jägermeister? Was that the Hamburglar? Was it neither? Or was it both? Was she carrying on with both to some degree? I'm not shaming her at all. I just know that teenagers, when you're going through breakups, that sometimes you don't really wrap up those loose ends. You kind of keep getting entangled. So I can't help but wonder if things were happening over the last few days before her disappearance with both of those boys. Let's see. Law court's not fair. Sarah Boone is screwed. I haven't been following the Sarah Boone thing at all, but I'll highlight it in case you want to say anything else about it. I see her name, but yeah, I just keep rolling and scrolling, trying to keep up with the cases that I keep up with. And then, I got caught up in this Raygun thing. That woman is scum. She's such a monster, in my opinion. And then she makes this pitiful video today, like, please quit being mean to me, people. It's like, well, why don't you give the freaking Olympic spot back to the kids who could have made a career for themselves had they won that spot, and you wouldn't even let them compete for it? Like, she denied inner city kids grant money to get to the competition for the Olympic spot. But let me answer that question. You can't give that opportunity back to these kids, little Miss White freaking privilege. And then one of her friends that was trying to stick up for her said, people don't know her backstory. She was locked in a room crying. Like, she's going to start telling this story about Raygun getting abducted. And then, it sounds like she locked herself in a room and she was crying because, there weren't very many chicks in the, there weren't enough B girls around. It was all B boys. And, that made her cry and that made her lock herself in her freaking room. Like, that's not a freaking backstory. That's just her pissing and moaning. Like, I was all about cutting her slack when she first did her embarrassing routine until I learned more about her. And then my suspicion right away was that she had connections to get that spot. And then sure enough, she did. It was her. She was her own connection, her and her freaking husband. And I really do think that they need to get prosecuted with legal consequences for that. Like, okay, anyway. It makes me so mad. And then for her to feel all sorry for herself, it's like, no, I feel sorry for the kids that wanted to go to the Olympics, who had the skills, who'd been practicing, who didn't even get to showcase their skills to see if they might be up to snuff. And the attention that could have garnered them, even if they didn't get to the Olympics, just being finalists for that Olympic spot. Seriously. Can't believe they would post that. It's like they know what happened to Kiely. Sickening. And then the thing that Mark was saying about, you did a really good job with the tapes that you were playing, which is why I think they hamburglarized you so you couldn't play any more tapes. The breaking down the timeline for 2 days and putting it on their website. That's a quote from law enforcement. And right before that, they said they're breaking down the sightings of her over the course of 2 days. So I don't know, Mark, if you have an idea of, are they talking about the last 2 days, like August 4th, 5th, 6th, August 3rd, 4th, 5th? Are they talking about August 6th, 7th? Well, I guess it's 2 days, not 3. So they're talking about the 4th and the 5th? Are they talking about the 6th and the 7th? Or are they talking about the 5th and the 6th? Like, which 2 days are they talking about? But sightings of her over the course of 2 days and the timeline for 2 days and put it on the website. Never heard either of those quotes. Thank you so much for putting that in your video today, Mark. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. White Find Kiely shirts, exactly. And yeah, she could have been rugged by someone. Yeah, I've always thought that. I mean, that whole thing with Scammy coming out of the gate with everything she drank, I drank. Every cup that I drank out of, she drank out of. Like, she just kept talking about that so much when nobody was asking her. It's like, okay, so she was rugged. Basically, you just told on yourself, in my opinion. Hey, CB, lovely to see you here. OMG, Mr. Mark says, Mark, you were hamburgerized. Yeah, I think so. I do. Wow, where is it? 2 days, 5 and 6, probably. We need that info. Right. The sightings and the timeline. Like, that would be information to make public when you're searching and you're asking for the public's help. But no, that was not a real search. No ATVs, no frantic, like, we can't waste a second. It's like, oh no, let's stand around in circles and hold hands. Oh, and sing songs, right? Eat treats like freaking Mary Poppins. Play games, sing songs, eat treats. OMG. I've been missing so much, CB says. I was, Mark says. Yeah, it's an odd thing to say. We shared drinks, drank from the same cups. Well, it's especially odd when nobody asked you. And that's where perps often turn themselves in and tell on themselves, is providing information, detailed information, repeated information that's like an alibi or like that, when no one's asking you what she had to drink or if you were drinking with her. So yeah. So yeah, who was Kiely Rodni last with? That was a question that I think it was Angela was asking that question. It was the authorities in Mark's video that he was showing. And I put the link to that in my little live from today. I'll put the link to this most current live from Mr. Mark. I'll put it in this description too. But when they said who was Kiely Rodni last with, I really thought, like, who was she last with, kind of in the biblical sense, right? Because that's really meaningful. The last lover, the last boyfriend, the last tryst, the last romance, any recent, any current, and then the teen to teen meetups. So to me, that teen to teen meetup is like this weird phrase that they coined that's almost like hooking up, right? And I don't know, I was gonna Google. Why don't I just pull out my phone and fub you guys? I was gonna Google meetup, like Urban Dictionary, right? Let's see, Urban Dictionary. You know, like when you say roll up, you roll up on somebody. Is there a thing like meet up? Anything from platonic hangout between two chums or pals, usually of opposite genders. So yeah, the teen to teen meetups, usually opposite genders. Isn't that funny? To a date with the intent to possibly begin romantic relations. Ah, the teen to teen meetups. I'm so glad I looked that up. What does meetup mean in slang? To come together with someone, to go to a place, to be with someone. I'll meet up with you later. They met up with each other for drinks. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a commitment. Like it's not just a meet and greet. Meeting up is like hooking up, basically, in a sense. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what they were doing. I'm just saying it was a weird phrase that they coined, the teen to teen meetups. Like, why not just teen to teen chats, teen to teen interviews? Okay, we know why they didn't want to call them interviews, because they didn't want people to think that they were being interviewed. Just teen to teen talks. How about just talks? Teen to teen talks. But no, teen to teen meetups, because it's like you're sealing a deal, basically, is what I was thinking. And that's kind of what the Urban Dictionary says in my interpretation. Hey, Granny Nanny, traveling again. Nice to see you. Jane Doe's and Ronnie. Oh, let's see. And no one else ever said they saw Sammy, Megs, Kiely at the party, or said they remembered something from the party. So, Mr. Mark, you were asking about who all of Kiely's friends were, and I know Shanda in the comment section provided you with a lot of that information that is way over my head. But I didn't know if you had forgotten Kate Cunio. And so I looked up Kate Cunio to make sure I was still spelling her name right, because I always get confused. And her uncle, David Cunio, who has been a deputy for the Sacramento Sheriff's Department for many years. He also owns a lot of properties, like rentals, I think, or something. Who knows? Anyway, he owns a lot of properties in that area, and he's now a sergeant. That's what I wanted to share. So I was really glad that I looked him up to make sure that I was spelling the name right. He's now a sergeant. So Kate Cunio's uncle, I mean, he had a lot of power in law enforcement already, and he was intertwined with the Nevada County and the Placer County law enforcement, being just one county over, Sacramento. And again, long term, just like Christopher Stanio was long term with Nevada County. We know Sam Brown was long term with Nevada County. Christopher Stanio's brother, Matthew Stanio, his identical twin, long term with the California State Highway Patrol. So these guys have it wired. They can manipulate and do whatever they want. It takes me back to Kiely getting pulled over in July, the end of July, and cited for driving without her license or driving without her insurance papers. And she like maybe was given a warning, but she had to go to the courthouse. But what did they pull her over for? Did they pull her over because she was cute? Did they pull her over because she did like a California stop? Because how would they know that she didn't have her driver's license or her insurance card? So the fact that she had had recent interaction with law enforcement right before she goes missing. Oh, and that Sheriff Wayne Wu, was sworn in 10 days before she went missing, you guys. And then I think it's raised from perdition 2 times. I'm not sure if any of the other people that are here have said that Trinity Backus was adopted from Ukraine. I had never heard that. Have you guys heard that? And raised from perdition 2 times is somebody that I trust, even though I, don't really know them because it's all cyberspace. I trust them for cyberspace credibility as much as you can trust anybody from cyberspace credibility, right? As much as you guys can trust me. So I never had heard that. I don't know if it's true. That's why I'm putting it out there and asking you. Let's see what else we got. Sus Sammy is full of. That's all I know. I like your little icons there, your little emojis. And Meetup getting it on CB. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like hooking up. Sammy swings both ways, so I think she tries to promote it. Well, I always got the feeling that not only was she jealous of Kiely, but that she probably had designs on her. Because, I mean, Kiely was one of those people, just so attractive, especially with the singing. I mean, physically beautiful, but then, when somebody's a rock star like that, it just really makes them sexy to everybody, male and female. I learned a new word last night. I can't remember it, but it's like people who are attracted to people because of their intellect. It's like totally a new word. Okay, I'm just going to Google. People. Intellect. That's like me with the that band I keep telling you guys about, AJR. Sapiosexuality. Have you guys heard of that? I'd never heard about it until last night. I'll tell you where I heard about it if you want to know. Sapiosexuality means that a person is sexually attracted to highly intelligent people, so much so that they consider it to be the most important trait in a partner. Sapiosexual. Sapiosexuals are sexually aroused by intellectual debate, deep thinking, and long conversations about literature. And then the person writes, no, they aren't. That's funny. Okay. Anyway. Hiding truth meeting, Mark. See, your brain works really good in some respects, some directions. So I would want to recommend to you, even though it's unsolicited advice, so of course, take it or leave it. You don't need to keep harping on yourself for memory issues, but just focusing on your strengths because you have so many. And yeah, I wanted to articulate that to you because you go in directions that nobody else is going with Kiely's case. And it's so awesome that you're here. Blood oath meetups. Ooh, like that. Yikes. Thank you. Okay. Let me get all caught up. Oh, Granny Annie, they didn't want the teens to waste cops' time. Cops were too busy filling out their time cards. Oh, Annie, you are on the money, like literally and figuratively. Oh, that's too funny. Funny, not funny. Forgot last name, but didn't remember to catch the uncle. He knows what's up. Yep, Annie, like an audition to get a promotion. Where is that video and body cams court building video? There you go, Mr. Mark. There should be dash cam and body cams from when they pulled her over. And yeah, definitely the surveillance video footage when she went to the building. And why did she need to go to the building? Because that was strange. That's not how those things are normally done. If she was given a warning, she still shouldn't have needed to go provide it. If she was given a warning, she was given a warning. But it sounds like that's what they did. They said, okay, we're going to give you a warning, but you need to go in and bring your papers to the courthouse. So again, they're getting her physically at a location on their turf. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Did you see the latest case? Placer failed again, even though they found the lady deceased today. They failed. I made some comments on PCSO. I'll take the wrath. No, I have not seen this, CB. If you want to share something more about it, please feel free. Finally catching alive, Shanda. Lovely to see you. I played your shorts earlier. I just held up my cell phone and played them because you know how I am with technology. But man, those are some awesome shorts. Thank you for that. No to Trinity. Yeah, I've tried finding stuff and I haven't found anything. Maybe Shan knows if there's a rumor about Trinity being adopted from Ukraine. Like, I have no idea if that's valid. It was raised from perdition 2 times. That put it in my comment section. And saw that CB unreal. Seems common for the public or other agencies to solve their cases. Yeah, Shan, good to see you. Oh, were you under the weather, Shan? Let's see. I went down a rabbit hole on how the CEO of KUIU was self-unalived in his Dixon, California home just a year after he capped stocks on his business at 23%. It's the job struggle, demeaning. Yeah, I know, Mark. And yeah, you're not old. You're seasoned. You're seasoned, seriously. I'm still sleeping more than usual, but I'm not fighting it. Yeah. Annie, LOL, great one. He was ex-football player, Shan. I did that rabbit hole, LOL. Odd that the company who bought the 23% stocks is a private San Francisco-based company, huh? Oh, San Francisco. I told you guys I watched that movie about Harvey Milk that's called Milk, and he was a San Francisco politician. Some serious corruption in that city. I mean, there's serious corruption in every city. We can't delude ourselves, right? But it seems like Northern California has more than its fair share. And sometimes in bigger cities, so like Los Angeles or New York, even though I'm not denying that it's there, there's more checks and balances in a bigger city. There's more greedy people that are keeping eyes on each other. So sometimes it's the smaller cities where people can really get away with red rum, literally and figuratively. Like in San Francisco, the guy who red rummed Harvey Milk and another politician at the same time, he got away with it. Like, that was the Twinkie defense. So if you haven't seen that movie, Milk, it's good. It's kind of hard to watch, but in some ways it's really easy to watch because Sean Penn does such a great job. He plays Harvey Milk. And that character, he's a very likable character, a very lovable politician. He's very gay and out, and I didn't know that he was kind of responsible for cultivating the Castro district. So even though I'd lived in San Francisco, I did not know that piece of information. I mean, I don't think he invented the Castro district, but he helped push it along a great deal. And he helped make the city safer for gay men because the cops were unaliving the gay men, you guys. Like, seriously. Like, the cops were what they call fag bashing. So that's what got Harvey into politics. Anyway, I'll quit talking about that. California crazy. Mark, I'm having my Medicare docs eval my memory disabled since 2011. They do have meds to slow it down. I do brain exercises, dominoes, and Sudoku. I know Sudoku is good for that. Shan, check message from me and let me know. Squirrel went adventuring again. Saw the post, CB. Okay, so let me look at my notes. Yeah, this was from Mark's video, and I mentioned this in my short, goofy video earlier today. We've done a really good job of trying to collect that. It takes a long time to review. This is in reference to all of the videos that were made at the party. We've done a really good job of trying to collect that. It takes a long time to review. So Mr. Mark, when he brought it up in his live today, he's like, is 2 years long enough? That was pretty smart. Oh my goodness. Let's see, what else do I got here? I know that Watts the Obsession is doing a live soon, so I want to wrap up before too long because you guys know that we just passed the 6-year anniversary of Shanann and her 3 beautiful babies getting red rummed by her husband allegedly, but I really think he had help from his girlfriend. I'm just saying it because I believe it, and I think that that needs to be addressed, and I hope that it is going to be addressed. Anyway, Kelly's pushing hard, and a lot of people are pushing hard. I'm really grateful for all the people that are paying attention to the Watts case and the lack of complete justice, because that's a very dangerous person that would have anything to do with that. I mean, I don't think Chris masterminded that, and I don't think he executed that on his own. I think that he belongs in jail. I think that he's guilty AF of all of it, trying to cover up for somebody else, basically. I mean, he was certainly involved, 100%, 1,000%, but he wasn't the only one. I don't think it was his idea. Chris was whipped. That's what I said, Mark, in somebody else's chat like last week. I didn't use the whole phrase, but yeah, he totally was. Nick Hole. I know she spells her name like that because she is a freaking hole. Guilty AF. Yes. I like the way you said that, Mr. Mark. You didn't say AF. You just said as the poop emoji, right? Okay, give me a little bit. I'm currently finishing up making eggplant parmesan. Yum! And did you grow the freaking eggplant? Oh, I'm so jelly, whether you grew it or not. That's one of my favorites. I love eggplant. I do. Not everybody does, but I love it. Eggplant parmesan and like a Thai basil eggplant is just absolutely my favorite. Now I need to go get me some. Granny Annie says, I watched another show about Chris Watts. The neighbor scribed the girlfriend's truck, described the the neighbor across the street, that older woman who went and worked out every day at 5:30. She was so cute and dependable, wasn't she? It's like, who works out at 5:30 every morning when you don't have to? Good for her. But yeah, she spotted that, and yeah, she did describe NK's truck, and NK sold that truck, I think, Tuesday. So, the red rums happened on a Sunday night, Monday morning, and I'm pretty sure by Tuesday she got rid of that truck. And then I think it was over the next few days that she liquidated her yoga business that she hadn't had that long, maybe a year at the most, I think, but I'm not sure. I'm foggy on the yoga business, if you guys know. I would mention that in one of my last lives, how there's all these like evil yoga divas, and it's like, ew, like it's so counterintuitive. Like, yoga is so much about truth and honesty and justice and just accepting yourself and accepting other people, in my opinion. So when you take all these rancid yoga people, and the one that I thought of after I did that live where I kind of ran down half a dozen of evil yoga freaks, Brian Laundrie. I left him out. Remember the video where Gabby's like, oh, morning yoga? And it took me a long time before I noticed how swollen her face is in that video. Like, he had definitely beaten her up, and it was starting to heal enough that she could make that video. And it was really awkward. Like, you could feel the tension between the two of them, when they were on that camp trip. That was probably part of that whole trip that they were on. But yeah, her face is all distorted, and it's just so sad. And what a douchebag. Anyway, for these people to be doing yoga, you would think that they might be in touch with themselves, but I mean, there's also, I think, a lot of rug consumption in most of these people. So I think Brian Laundrie did a lot of rugs. I think NK and Chris did a lot of rugs. I think a lot of times the rugs are left out of the story And part of that is because nobody wants to throw shade at any of the victims if any of the victims were involved with the rugs too. Um, but also, if there's rugs involved, then there's more people to prosecute, right? Because you want to get to the suppliers, like with the Matthew Perry thing today. So if Brian Laundrie was on rugs on that trip, and I think he was, who supplied him with the rugs? Like, come on. And, same thing with all of the kids in Truckee. Definitely rugs. I mean, they even said there was rugs. Like, not just the rugs that we're used to, but other rugs that we don't usually have. Oh, you mean like the soda pop one? Like, I mean, the Dr. Pepper one or the Coca-Cola one? Or both? Is that it? Fentanyl? I mean, that's what that girl, Angel, had passed away from, that Nate Kabakunga finally got sentenced to like 20 or 30 years for. Marie, I know I have her name in here, but it's like 10 pages back. It might take me forever to find it. Oh, wait. How cosmic is that? I turned right to a page with Nate Kabakunga on it. But I don't know if the victim's name is going to be here soon. Let me just do a quick, because I looked it up. Angel, I always think Angel, but no, it's Marie or Maria something. I know it's gross when I lick my fingers, but I'm not in your presence, so you're not going to get any germs, don't worry. And am I running out of... Maybe I didn't go back far enough. Let's see. Almost, but not quite. Do you guys know her name? Put her name up for me. Come on, please. I think it's coming. Hold on. I could just Google Nate Kabakunga and it should show up. Yeah, I think it's back there further. Okay. If it helps you plant basil between your tomatoes, yum! I know I love basil and I love tomatoes. Designer rugs. Okay. I missed a whole bunch. Hey, Sandra, lovely to see you. How far back do I need to go? I'm glad you're doing a live while I'm at work. I was having some YouTube Kiely withdrawals. I don't want to always be replay crew. Oh, that's so sweet. I know. And I've just had a really chaotic week with all the kids getting started back in school again. And, I've been upping my game with my yoga, and I am still trying to push and up my game with my YouTube always. I just love you guys so much. Thanks for being here with me. So glad to see you, Sandra. And I pulled 9 tomato worms. I'm so sad. No tomatoes for me this year. Oh, worms are gross. I know they're good for the soil, but yeah, I was planting some flowers today and saw a worm and I'm like, ew, but I know that's good. How did law enforcement let NK go? Well, yeah, that's a really good question. So, I am just... The fentanyl dealer receives 15 years to life in prison for selling. But does it say... Oh, Jules Wolfe. Marie Jules Wolfe. Okay, good. There, finally got it. I should write it down because it's one of those names that I can never remember. It drives me nuts. Jules Wolf. So, yeah, how did they let NK go? Connections. She was completely connected, and that freaking DA Rourke, what a douche. My plants look like crap, and temps are dropping. Okay, dating yoga now scratched off. So yeah, like Caitlin Armstrong, the one who shot Mo Wilson, and NK. I made this list of like 10 of these evil scumbags because I was like, I don't want affiliation with Hilaria Baldwin, yoga diva, Amanda Knox, yoga diva, Sherry Papini, yoga diva. Ugh, gross. Gross. But yeah, I would agree, Mark. Like, I don't know. Because yeah, a lot of times I think that yoga divas, they think they're all that in a bag of chips, and it's like, I mean, that's not my thing with yoga. My thing with yoga is just more inclusive. I think that yoga can be like really competitive, and it can be like this whole ballerina thing, and like who's the most flexible and who's the most fit and all that, and a lot of showing off basically. And I don't think it should be that way. I think that it doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. Just doing it and just taking care of yourself is what's important. So yeah, I get really grossed out by all the creepy, competitive, foofy yoga princesses because it's a very much of a princessy kind of thing. I have to admit that. And like a hippie princess kind of thing. Okay, let's move on. Let's get over that. What is the difference between Thai basil and Genovese? Oh, it's just a dish, a Thai dish that's the eggplant with the basil. I don't know if there's another answer to that question. That's all I know. Sorry, CB, to talk to the plants, safety and truth, dark kids and rugs, designer rugs. I've had nothing but hella tomatoes and peppers of all kinds. I love garden tomatoes. It's one of my favorites. I need to start canning some of this stuff. That's a lot of work. And making your own salsa. But yeah, just tomatoes sliced with like a slice of mozzarella cheese and a basil leaf and some olive oil and pepper. That is like so freaking good. Getting myself all hungry. Let's see. I do, Mark. I love talking to my plants, but bugs work quickly. Grasshoppers up here are crazy this year and destroying my stuff. Oh no. If it helps if you plant basil between your tomatoes. Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're good for each other. Every third tomato plant, I have basil and asylum. Basil keeps away the worms, and the asylum attracts the aphids, worms to them versus your tomatoes. The only plants I had issues with this year were my zucchini and squash. Oh, I'm just so happy for you, squirrels. All that delicious, healthy food. You're such a good role model. I've had a crappy growing season, snow, 100, smoke, and freeze warning. Now I'm over it. Greenhouse is almost done. So did you guys hear about Hawaii has had some weird stuff going on? Brush Junkie put out a new video today. I'm thinking it's weirder than what they think. So basically, like, some guy got arrested for like having like explosives and stuff, but they didn't let the public know. And there's been fires. There were fires, explosions. There was one on August 8th, so like the anniversary of the Lahaina fires. But I almost wonder if all of this weird activity isn't like a distraction to like get people to look over there, not over here. So I always love Brush Junkie, keeping up with that stuff. And she had the ex assistant police chief who is way cool and really smart, and the two of them together are really good. I'll put a link in the description. Oh, it's so hard to keep up with the Maui stuff. It's crazy. It's so far away. I mean, I almost feel like it's a lost cause, like that the evil powers that be can get away with what they've done and what they're doing. And I hate to say that. Please prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Ugh. My second round of cucumbers took off, but I fear the nights are getting too cold already for them to produce enough to make pickles. Yum. Yeah, it's been interesting how quickly fall is rolling in on us. A greenhouse is the way to go. NK's truck was clearly there. Yeah, NK and the 111-minute call. Give me a break, girl. She's such scum. She was so jealous of Shanann. That 7-page letter that she typed up for the law enforcement that she like carried in there. She's like, she would pretend that she would go on a run and take pictures with Chris when he was actually going on runs. It's like, oh yeah, so she's disposable if she would pretend she was working out when she wasn't. I mean, what a hateful thing. Like why do you even care? Like, why do you even care, you crazy, jealous hoe? Shan, do you go out at night with an ultraviolet flashlight and check for critters on your tomatoes, Sandra? CB says you can just freeze peppers whole without blanching. Good for soups and salsas. Only when I had the slug issue at first, but no, I don't go out at night. So Shan, look what I have right here. My husband just handed me these. Technu. You're familiar with Technu, right? It's the stuff for poison ivy, poison oak, and also that other one, sumac. So I'd never heard of these. If I show them, do you think they'll send me money? Detox wipes. So Technu is this company that makes a soap that when you've had exposure, you rub it on your skin, you leave it there for 2 minutes, and then you rinse it off, and it helps prevent it from setting in. But they have waterless skin cleanser detox wipes. So I thought, wow, he just handed me this big bag of them. So I'd be happy to send you a couple if you'd like. I would need your address again because I always get rid of people's addresses so that I'm not tempted to stalk anybody. Sorry, I had to say it. No, I just get rid of them because I think that's the right thing to do. Okay, let's see. Where else? I'm really late, Sherry Irving. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we are getting towards an hour, and Watts the Obsession is coming on to a live. So yeah, let's start thinking about winding down. Let's see. I wish I was close. We would be canning them veggies for your pantry. Man, yeah, my grandmother would can. That is such a buttload of work. I have some peppers hanging to dry, and then what I don't use from now on, I'm going to start freezing or making salsa with. I'm going to try making cowboy candy for feet as well. Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, drying it out would be much easier than canning. I mean, it's still a lot of work, but Sandra, I don't have an actual pressure canner, so I'm only able to can what I can water, bake, and seal. Technu is incredible for poison. Yes. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't heard of it, because I had never had poison ivy until I started gardening a few years ago. And yeah, it's a necessity to have around if you have any poison ivy or poison oak around. I was doing a little gardening today. That's why my husband got a hold of it for me, just in case. And you can also use Dove dishwashing liquid the same way, like you rub it on and then you leave it there for 2 minutes because it like brings the oils to the surface and then you shower it off. And probably any other dishwashing liquid, but Dove is supposed to be the best one. Laura recommended it for me when I couldn't get rid of my poison oak. It wiped that stuff out in 32 hours. Wow. I didn't know, like, after the fact. Yeah, that's incredible. Because, yeah, my doctor prescribed steroid cream, and that kicked its butt. That was awesome. Toxic poops. Mr. Mark, oh, you're talking about the detox wipes. You're too funny. Jazz, that color of blue is beautiful on you. What color of blue? I've got the ball cap. Remember my old Justice ball cap from 2 years ago when I first started this thing? It's gray. And then this is black. So I don't know. I got all this cool blue behind me. I love all the lights, don't you? They're so fun. I just can't help it. Let's see. And is that what you mean, the blue around me? Because, yeah, it's so cool. Thank you. I still love your hat, Jez. And I want to order the hats that say Love Saves Lives. I need to order those and have some merch and do some giveaways. So if anybody knows of a good resource for ordering hats from, I'm in the market. I have one, but I don't like that business that much to give them a bunch of money. But I can go that direction if I need to, if I don't get a better contact. Stoked for WTO to do her live because something is definitely amiss with NK. And yeah, Kelly's not going to stop. Love Kelly, man. She's rocking it. I don't know if she was directly involved in the Red Room, but she had play in the push on CW to actually do it all, in my opinion. You know, I believe that she was 100% directly involved. I believe she was there. I believe she was hands-on. That's my opinion. I feel very strongly about that from all of the information. One of the pieces of information, and Kelly can't always like go right to it and pull it out in the video. She did that once on one of her lives. When I asked about that paper bag at the bottom of the steps, when on day one, when the police are interacting with Chris and he gets really nervous around that paper bag full of clothing. And he says, oh, that's like my fat clothes. I was going to give them away at work. But he like freaks out when the officer gets close to it. And then the stupid officer is like, oh, okay, fat clothes you were going to give away at work. Okay, no problem. I mean, they were already suspicious of him. Just the fact that her shoes were by the door, her purse was in there, her cell phone was there. I mean, they had every reason to be suspicious of him. It took him like hours to get there. He kept saying, yeah, like, I'll be there in 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever. Come on. That's really frustrating. Yeah, stoked for WTO. So yeah, let's get wrapping up. Oh, hello. Awesome for the poison ivy meds. Granny Annie. Forget what channel. They reviewed Watts. GF truck, no doubt, was there. Maybe we need a petition. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's something about a red car too. So I don't know what color car leave Jim alone Jim drove, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was red. And then there was her girlfriend. Was her girlfriend's name Charlotte that was staying with her that weekend? That was a Shanann doppelganger. Like they hardly ever mention her. So she came to stay at Nicole's that weekend, and Jim was there too. And leave Jim alone. I don't want to pull him into this. It's like, he's your freaking alibi. You better talk to the alibi. That was unreal. That was so stupid. I'm selling a hat with my signature for $2,000. Yeah, you've got the one, the Justice A to Z. I think you have a black one, right? Granny Annie traveling. I have fans for half that. Yeah, somebody was talking about OnlyFans. in my last video when I tried to show you guys my toe and I was wearing a skirt. I have long pants on. If you want to see the toe, I can try to do that today. But I don't know. I'll probably kick everything over. Mr. Mark, why haven't they caught? They stole 33 cash? Wait, what? And that 33 makes me think of the 33 billion of the scammy. So OnlyFans, yeah, I know. It's like funny, not funny, right? It's some crazy stuff. So yeah, let's wrap up so we can all hang out with Kelly at Watts the Obsession. I could try to show you guys the toe. Let me see. It's just because I keep talking about it. And I know when I'm doing my yoga, it's there, but you can't really see it. I don't even know if you can see it now. But it's so much better. It's so much better. And I'm just so proud of myself that I can do that. Look at that. My yoga's paying off. Man, it really is. It feels great. I'm loving it. So let's wrap her up, you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. Please take really good care of yourself. Check out my yoga videos if you want. I think they get better each time, like the lighting and the angles. I mean, it's a freaking nightmare because it's a whole different studio. It's a lot of work trying to get all of that stuff under control, but it's fun and I love it. And I love the routine and it's just really invigorating. So try it if you like. What's the tat, Jazz? That was my first tattoo and it's a lotus flower, which is very appropriate for the whole yoga thing. It's like a Celtic knot lotus flower. I don't know if you got a good look at it. Let's see. Hope no toe freaks here. You're right, Mark. I should be more careful. I mean, it's kind of gross. So, I'm sorry to show it if it's gross to somebody, but it's not as gross as it was when I showed it to you guys months ago when it was all chewed up and disgusting. My laptop froze, switched devices, but as I was trying to say, via laptop, if you're going to can tomatoes, freeze them whole, pull out when you're ready to can. Oh, interesting. Sandra knows a lot. And Sherry says, love you, still at my sister. We'll try to do better on catching you live. Oh, you're so sweet. Where's your sister? That's nice. So yeah, everybody try to eat up all those vegetables. Try to eat really good protein and stay well hydrated and just being kind and seeking justice and fighting for Kiely. Fighting for Kiely is huge. And don't put up with people like Raygun. So the people that started the petition against Raygun, what do they call themselves for the petition? Someone who doesn't like corruption or something like that. I thought it was really cute. So yesterday when I signed the petition, it's just a petition to get her to make a public apology. And it was like 35,000 people had signed it as of yesterday. I haven't checked on it today, but if anybody's interested in looking for that petition to sign, I would encourage it because I think she really hurt a lot of people and hurt the sport and hurt her country. And I just think she needs to be flogged publicly. And the fact that she's like asking people to quit being so mean, it's like, you did it to yourself. I mean, I've got no sympathy. What a jerk. Mark, that's the 10 lurkers, foot fetish freaks. Oh, Sherry says your sister's 172 miles. So yeah, that's kind of far. What is that, like 3 hours? Not too bad. All right. Sandra says, who? I don't know. Now I'm confused. Oh, Raygun, the idiot from Australia that stole a spot in the Olympics because her and her husband are in charge of all of the breakdancing stuff in Australia. So she just like stole a spot and she denied grants that inner city kids had applied for to try to get to the tryouts. And they also didn't advertise that they were doing the tryouts. And you know, she was the one wearing all green, and everybody's been making fun of her kangaroo thing. And I called it the bank robber, but I've also heard it called the T-Rex. There. Brittany Grinder. No. All right, you guys, love and light. Have a really good night. See you soon. And thanks again for being here. Justice for Kiely. Where's the end stream button? See you soon.